Another week, another round of highlights and campus stories.
This is the UON Weekly, where we bring you the latest happenings, updates and stories that matter here at the University of Nairobi.
My name is Ruby Mutegi.
And I am Tiberius Barasa.
And here are the highlights.
Echoes Unheard Forum.
What Echoes Unheard is going to do is to address the matters of gender-based violence, intimate partner violence and femicide.
The Rhythmic Heartbeat book launch.
So I am rhyming from the first poem to the last poem.
And finally, the Financial Literacy Forum.
People lack financial intelligence because nobody will teach you on how to use money.
On Friday, the 11th of April 2025, the University of Nairobi played host to Echoes Unheard, a forum spotlighting gender-based violence and the role of women in leadership.
The event drew together diplomats, student leaders, rights activists, and members of the university community for a candid, solution-driven conversation.
Chief Guest Ambassador Amina Mohammed delivered a passionate call for empathy and accountability.
With a growing concern over the rising cases of intimate partner abuse and femicide, the initiative served as both a wake-up call and a platform. Marion Mwema with the story.
Echoes Unheard launched a powerful forum conversation on women leadership and gender-based violence that took place on Friday, 11th April 2025 at the University of Nairobi Towers, bringing together changemakers and leaders. The event served as a call to action, urging all to listen, reflect, and be the change in their communities. The event's chief guest, Ambassador Amina Mohammed, emphasized the urgent need to create safer spaces for future generations, calling on young people to lead with empathy, courage, and a sense of collective responsibility.
It cannot be the responsibility of a government or an institution. It's collective. It's collective responsibility, just like everything else is, by the way.
Ambassador Amina Mohammed, who is a member of the Global Women Leaders Group, has called for urgent efforts to prepare a safer, more inclusive future for the next generation.
There are things that came up as a result of selfishness and greed in society. And for those, I think, you have to, again, be the trendsetters. For anything that you think becomes a barrier.
Nuzla Mohammed, the deputy chairperson of Echoes Unheard, says the initiative aims to confront the rising cases of gender-based violence, intimate partner abuse, and femicide issues. She says the goal is to amplify the voices of women who have long been ignored and to ensure they receive justice and protection.
What Echoes Unheard is going to do is to address the matters of gender-based violence, intimate partner violence, and femicide.
At the Echoes Unheard launch, powerful voices from students shared that young women are still grappling with fear, silence, and societal pressure in the face of gender-based violence.
The male dominance, like you are in a group, the 90% of your population, maybe 13, 14, and most ni men. So maybe you have group discussions, assignments, but you can't talk. They are all talking, and so you feel like a bit inferior to them.
In this society feels like ladies are actually sexual toys.
They also shared how the event inspired them and emphasized that the women today can rise in leadership, pursue their dreams, and speak up without being intimidated.
Learning institutions, especially universities, have a huge task in coming up with policies in the schools and just with measures to ensure that girls are safe in universities.
With unity, with the women together as one, I am so confident that we can change that.
Reporting for UNC TV, I am Marion Mwema.
In other news, in a remarkable achievement for a third-year journalism student here at the University of Nairobi, Munga Sonje has officially joined the literary world as a published author.
On Wednesday, 16th April 2025, Sonje launched his first poetry collection, Rhythmic Heartbeat, an anthology that captures the essence of resilience, self-expression, and human experience through thought-provoking verses. Patience Jedida tells us more.
Student-led initiatives are increasingly making their mark in Kenyan universities, exemplified by a third-year journalism student at the University of Nairobi who has ventured into the literary world. Munga Sonje has authored and launched his debut poetry anthology titled Rhythmic Heartbeat, a collection that delves into the interplay between human emotions and the rhythm of the heart.
There are many things that alter the way our heart beats. You see, when you're happy, the heartbeat increases to match your emotions and everything. When you are sad, the heartbeat is slow.
The event drew an audience of family, friends, and fellow students who attested to his commitment in his literary journey. However much the challenges experienced as an author in Africa, Munga did not shy away from diving into the world of poetry.
The challenge is not even in writing. The challenge is getting the book out there. But if you have the piece, the other part is just easy. Things flow.
It appeared unbelievable to me because I was wondering, seeing this boy coming up, then it's like, now this guy has not even finished school. He's talking of publishing a book.
He's a student in the school or in the university that I'm in, and he's going beyond. You know, we have studies, but he's also pursuing his passion of writing.
Despite a growing interest in poetry among Kenyan youth, the number of published works remain low, and many young poets resort to self-publishing in order to share their work.
Publishing of a book is no joke, first of all. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of apprentice, a lot of skill.
Sonje notes that securing resources and utmost support from his family enabled him to push on with his literary work, serving as a source of admiration for other aspiring student writers.
Once we see that a child has a passion in a certain field, let's support that kid 100%. Because if you tend to divert him from that passion, this child may not live to the expectation.
Reporting for UNC TV, my name is Patience Jedida.
Elsewhere, the Easter season is here. For the students at the University of Nairobi, this year's commemoration has come with its own set of challenges that students are forced to adjust to.
From the tough economic times to missing out on moments with their loved ones, the celebration is set to have a different look.
As Wendy Isendi reports, regardless of the place of the celebration, the spirit of Easter is the same.
The season often marked by church services, family gathering, and a quiet reflection for those in the Christian faith. But for students, the celebration is taking a different turn this year.
To me, Easter is just a day like any other day.
With the high cost of living, students say they're being forced to adjust their holiday plans. From hiked transport prices to tight budgets, Easter 2025 will look a little bit different.
I come from Kisii. I could go home and celebrate from my home church. You know, there I know a lot of people, and then I'm celebrating with my family. But here, the fare are high. I can just choose that fare that I'm going to use, just let me use it for food and spend in school.
But not everyone sees money as the central part of Easter. For others, Easter is not tied to how much one will spend. It has a spiritual experience above all.
For me, it is just, okay, if I can spend my time rather than money, I spend my time with the Lord.
The economy may affect how students celebrate their Easter this year, but it hasn't taken away the spirit of the season.
Even if you have the Kenya economy, you cannot lack that one thing that you like to sacrifice to go give to the church. Even if it's in the farm, your income, that 100, 200, you can give to the church.
Whether it's a church, on campus, or with loved ones, Easter is still a time for reflection, renewal, and hope.
Well, right now I'm planning on hanging out with friends and having to catch up with my family members.
The economy may affect how the students will celebrate their Easter holidays, but it hasn't taken away the spirit of the season. Whether you'll celebrate it in church, on campus, or with loved ones, Easter holiday remains a time for reflection, renewal, and hope. Reporting for UNC TV, my name is Wendy Isendi.
And finally, Hundreds of students packed Taifa Hall at the University of Nairobi for the 2025 Financial Literacy Forum, a one-day event focused on equipping young people with practical money skills.
With rising interest in side hustles and digital income streams, the forum brought together financial experts and institutions to address a pressing concern. How financially prepared are the Kenyan youth? Ivan Tumpez reports.
It was a full house at Taifa Hall, University of Nairobi, as hundreds of students gathered for the Financial Literacy Forum 2025. The one-day event brought together students, financial experts, and institutions to equip young people with practical money skills.
Sometimes you have the resources, but you do not know how to channel them. So this problem is bi-pronged. There are those who have the resources, but don't know what to do with them. And there are those who do not have the resources, and they don't know how to get the resources.
Most people lack financial intelligence because nobody will teach you on how to use money. Everybody wants to gain, but hawajui kuspend.
Themed building a solid base for sound personal finance management, the forum tackled the real-life money matters from avoiding debts to creating multiple income streams. Among the partners present were the Central Bank of Kenya, Abojani Investments, Deloitte and Orient Asset Managers, all with a common goal of giving students a head start in managing money wisely.
I feel like the earlier the better, because you'll end up having developing wasteful habits right now, then you'll have to relearn new habits once you graduate. So it's better to just learn good habits right now, healthy habits right now.
You need to be disciplined with your money. You need to be able to save, and most of the time you save and you just look at that money in your account and I have money.
Beyond lectures and PowerPoints, the forum offered an honest conversation about sacrifice, discipline and self-control, which are values that build not just budgets but character. The experts say it's not too early to begin. In fact, students may never have more time than now to make their money work for them.
Investments work best when there's a large range of time. When you learn how to manage your money now, you can make a huge difference in the future.
They started interacting with the money at a very young age. They knew how to manage their finances. So if they are taught early, and if they were be able to taught as they are growing up, it being intertwined with other subjects, it would be more impactful than coming at the later stage in life.
In an economy where the young generation is forced to figure out finances on their own, this forum couldn't have come at a better time. It's not just about saving the money, it's about empowering a generation to take control of their financial future. Here, students are walking away ready to make smarter money moves. Reporting for UNC TV, my name is Ivan Tumpez.
And now you're up to date with the UON Weekly by UNC TV.
Remember to catch our next episode on YouTube and follow us across all our social media platforms. My name is Tiberius Barasa.
And I am Ruby Mutegi.
UNC TV, empowering you.